Well, welcome into the Ector County Coliseum. My name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 season. This weekend, Military Appreciation Weekend here at the Ector County Coliseum, as the Jacks will face off against the Amarillo Wranglers for the first time here this season. This is also the final team that the Jacks are going up against from the South Division, and they also have a bye week next week. So first place Odessa, second place Amarillo. It's going to be a tough contest here this weekend for both sides, but home ice advantage for 12 straight games for the remainder of 2021. The Jacks will be taking the ice in front of their lovely fans here at the Jack Shack. And especially on Military Appreciation Weekend, the place is going to be rocking. We were roughly close to 1,000 pre-sale tickets, and that was before we even had anybody retired or active military and their families getting in for free as well, and also general admission and walk-in tickets prior to doors opening at 6 o'clock here from the Ector County Coliseum. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Hockey TV, and we are also trying something out here as well, being on YouTube Live. So let me know in the chat as well, on the live chat. I'll be able to see that and have that pulled up. I know that's not a feature on Hockey TV. Again, YouTube Live, it's just audio. Hockey TV will be audio and visual for the remainder of the season. So again, let me know what your thoughts are, as this is going to be our first time testing out a different way for fans to enjoy and be able to listen to the game for this 2021-22 season, as the Odessa Jackalopes again are in first place out of the South Division. They have an overall record of 11-6-0-1, good for 23 points. The Wranglers enter this weekend's matchup with an 11-4 record, again just 1 point behind Odessa. They have a road record of 6-3. And the Jacks have an overall home record. Again, they had played 2 home games back at the Showcase and 2 away games. But they are 3-1-0-1 as the home team. They are 1-1-0-1 here at the Ector County Coliseum. The Jacks coming off a 3-1 loss at the hands of the El Paso Rhinos last weekend. They split the weekend series with the Rhinos, and they will not travel there for the remainder of the regular season, but it sure did end in a full-on tilt on that game number 2, as we saw our first ever fight as well, with Justin Hughes dropping the mitts with Bolina over the course of that weekend to spark what should be a very interesting 4-game matchup between those two teams come the month of December, with the first 3 being a 3-3 series in the first weekend of December. And then, of course, that final game will be on New Year's Eve to conclude the calendar year. And as for the Wranglers, they are also 0-1 right now, but they are coming off a 6-game win streak prior to being shut out 3-0 against the Ice Wolves this past Sunday. They also had a 3-3 series last weekend, so not only did they have a 1-1 game against the Ice Wolves on Sunday, but they played Shreveport Friday and Saturday and beat them both nights. So they've been rolling as well. They've been finding their groove as of late. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Jacks are 6-3-1 respectively. Starting lineup for your Odessa Jackalopes: left wing Ryan Mansfield, right wing will be Mike Manzo, centering in between the wingers will be leading goal scorer for your Odessa Jackalopes, Christopher Duclair. In defense will be Frank DeVorny. Alongside him will be Charlie Bankier, leads the team in assists with 10. And in between the pipes, it will be number 1 Alex Proctor, currently on a 2-game win streak. 200 feet the other way from his net will be Max Guchar, who was on a 6-game win streak. Him and Proctor tied for the most wins of a netminder in the NHL with 9. They're also going with Tommy Chanchukov, Glebs Prohorkovs, and Kristaps Skrastins. On defense, it's Michael Spinner and Jacob Peterson. And some tough last names for the Wranglers, some Latvians and Russians for this team closest to the Jacks here in the South Division. Again, it's the first meeting between these two South Division rivals.
Robert served with the Army until his death in 2004. He was killed in action when his unit was ambushed in Sadr City, Iraq.
Again, Military Appreciation Weekend this weekend. We have a choir that will be performing here prior to the ceremonial puck drop. Referee is Tyler Chavez, linesman Dane Hopkins, and Tyler Willie. And again, if you are tuning in on Hockey TV, I will let you know that there is about a 10-second buffer between the live feed, so just keep that in mind when you are tuning in on YouTube.
Of our national anthem, performed by Hayes Steam Magnet Academy.
Another great performance here at the Ector County Coliseum, energizing the hometown crowd prior to the ceremonial puck drop again here on Military Appreciation Weekend. I do want to obviously say a big thank you to everybody active and retired, all those veterans out there of the military, any branch. Thank you for your service as we honor you this weekend here from Odessa, Texas, with the first look at a specialty jersey this season for the Jackalopes. Camo done, and just like they have on the uniforms in the military, the last name with the nameplate on the front side of their jerseys. Very sharp and a little touch that maybe people didn't pick up on too often, but these jerseys will be auctioned off tomorrow night following the conclusion of Game 2 this weekend. That auction will be held live here at the Ector County Coliseum, so no online option, but if you are tuning in right now, you want to be able to participate in this first specialty auction this season. Make sure you get your tickets in advance, or if you have a relative in the area and they would like to bid for you, you are more than welcome to do that as well, as I know some parents are unable to make it out this weekend for the Jacks, and they might have their billet parents participate in the auction tomorrow night. So that is always an option as well. But we hope to see a lot more people out, obviously, tomorrow for the auction. There's a great turnout here this evening for game number 1 on a Friday. I know football is kind of ramping up here in West Texas, and that can be obviously a tough draw, tough competition between obviously hockey and football. But now that that's kind of concluding, these Friday nights are going to be a lot more jam-packed, and there is a great turnout here for game number 1 on Military Appreciation Weekend. Battle for first place here in West Texas. The Jacks' closest opponent, first time going up against them this weekend. Duclair for the draw, loses it to Glebs Prohorkins, and a heavy hit right in front of the Jacks bench. to set the tone here in game one. Puck is below the goal line, swept to the far side to Manzo by Bankier. Shoveled and dribbled down into the left corner. Where stick handling with it is Scrastins. Leads the team in points with 21 and also goals with 11. He's been red hot here in his NAHL debut season. More on that later. As dumping it deep for the Wranglers was number 20, Michael Spinner. As changes are coming on the fly for both squads. Right now it's the line of Hoyer, O'Hare, and Perdian that have combined for 16 goals and 21 assists so far this season. Chasing after it below his goal line is Bryson Russell from Palmyra, PA. And they'll spin it directly off the end wall and throw it to the near side, where it will escape back out the center ice. And roll right off the stick of Perdian. Away white jerseys for Amarillo. 1 point in the standings behind the Odessa Jackalopes, and a shot fought off to the wall by Proctor. Him and Max Guchar, again, tied for the most wins in the NHL so far this season, and it appeared that Hoyer might have clipped number 22 in white, Dominic Shimizi, with a high stick. So the first Kenner Printing penalty kill will go against Dane Hoyer, 1826, into the first period. Now this is a team that you do not want to give a man advantage to, as they are number one overall on the power play unit at 27% success rate in the NAHL. They have 17 goals for on 63 power play opportunities. The Jacks on the penalty kill are ranked at 82.7% and 17th overall out of 29 teams here at the Tier 2 level. They slide it near side to Scraskins. Back to the top of the point, now left circle. They fire one, ricochets off the end wall. Picked up by Scraskins. Players jostling for the frozen rubber, and the Jacks win it and clear it the other way. Great work by Kusler along the near side boards, and he hustles along the forecheck on the far side. Still applying pressure, and he sends it to the slot. Unfortunately handcuffed. What an opportunity was Mike Manzo, and nothing comes of it. 17:50 left to go here in the opening period. Coming away with it near side is Scrastins. In the top 10 overall for points, and they tried to go back door. They are negated in a breakout the other way for Duclair. Just rolls right off his tape with the burst of speed. Negated on the wraparound, and they shovel it back out to the red line, where Devorny will send it up far side. Under a minute left to go on the Wranglers' first man advantage here in game number one. Spinning the other way with it was Shimizi from McMurray, Pennsylvania. Jacob Peterson with it. Passes it to the left wing and past the red line, and dumping it deep was Spinner. Collected on the far side by Sofo. Sauce near side to Peterson. Across the Spinner. He fires one block shot in front by the Jacks. And that was Ryan Kelly. Might see a new face out there or hear a new name, and that is Joseph Kennelly. And this one will clank off the iron and go in. I think it tipped right in front of Proctor. Number 5 in white, Logan Cleary, I believe, got the deflection, as he'll be through the handshake line first. And that will be the first goal of the game. 16:36 left to go here in the opening period. And that's a power play goal for the Wranglers. Again, atop the not only the division but also the league in power play opportunities. And they capitalize on their first one here this evening. It was a redirect in front that hit post and beat Alex Proctor. Again, Proctor, a 2-game winning streak, 6 goals against in those 2 games. As for Guchar, he is trying to defend a 6-game winning streak in which he has allowed 11 goals. Points heavily on the line here this weekend, as the Jacks are off next weekend, and Amarillo has games in hand against Odessa. Sent around the yellow trim and then eventually worked out by Battaglia. And picked up near side by Devorny. He crosses the red and lobs one right onto Guchar. That should register the first Jack shot of the night, and it does. It comes just over 4 minutes in. And it hits right off the skate of a Jackalope in the right circle. As coming over the plate near side is Perdian. Samyov trying to out for a dump and chase himself. Couldn't pick it up. And settling things down are the Jacks from behind Alex Proctor. As they bring it out from their own zone, they play it to O'Hara near side. And it rolls off his tape as it's played far side. As Amarillo will patiently look for open real estate to send it north. Played right in front of the penalty boxes. Or chops it forward. Collected by Duclair, and he attempted a pass. Or pinches up. Or fires one. And shrugged aside by Guchar. Pressure now coming from the Jacks. This is their second time having a weekend series on home ice. Their last one was a 3-3 series on home opening weekend against the Lone Star Brahmas. In the very first game, it was a shootout loss, second regulation loss, and then the third was an overtime winner by Ryan Kelly. Coming out to settle it down is Guchar. He's being pressured, sends it to the open area for Duclair on the half wall. Far side, twisted back up, faking on a shot. That one will actually carry him off the leg pad of Duclair. It's gloved down and then pitchforked out by Amarillo. Picked up by Duclair. Will break through the logo, loses it on a zone entry, and it will glide all the way over to the far side where it's dumped deep by Tallene. Black numbers on the camo jerseys for the Jacks, as well as on the arms. That one's a little bit harder to see from our vantage point here in the broadcast booth. But nice big numbers on the back, as that one deflects off the stick of Tallene to the near side. And then Kennelly goes down. Again, it's his first game in a Jacks jersey. He played 2 games with the Minnesota Wilderness back at the Showcase on September 15th, and the last game he played was September 18th. This one will go the length of the ice for an icing with 13-14 left to go here in period number 1. Already Amarillo on the board with a power play goal. It's 1-0 Wranglers. From the face-off, Amarillo has it. They send it to the near side. Not enough to go for icing. Bankier picks it up. Pestering him is Oakland. Still with it. Right side. Gets around a man. Trying to stick it on with it. They get a shot off it. Saved by Guchar. And played back up to the top of the blue line, but too much for Devorny to handle it. Good was almost able to tie the game, but Guchar beat him. They slide it across in a passing attempt. It's intercepted by Amarillo. Played right to Battaglia. Now collected by Oakland. And they chip it off the glass as it will ride the stanchion to the near side. Directly behind Proctor. They go left circle. Shot in front. Saved by Proctor. Loose puck. And picked up once again by Battaglia. Sent to the top of the left point. A dribbling shot is covered for the whistle by the Dallas, Texas native. Amarillo is now 18 goals for on 64 power play opportunities. They're still in first place in that category. Discipline's going to be a big factor here for the Jacks this weekend, especially considering Amarillo actually leads the South Division in penalty minutes with 316. We've had some players get into multiple fights already this season as O'Hare wipes out in the left corner. They set it up for a pass across. Spinning with it is Couette. He laces a shot into the opposition, and sending it the other way was the goal scorer Cleary. And that one will just carry him off the glass below the safety netting, so play continues on as Orstick handles with it far side, and he'll just lace it around the yellow trim, where it will sit and then is chopped back the other way, chasing after it to keep it alive only for a second or two. Where the Jacks are trying to weave his way through is Campbell. It ricochets off the outside of the net as the net is also dislodged, so we have a whistle for a halt to play. Trying to bat it out of man-air were some of the Wranglers players right in front of Proctor. A man led by Aiden Carney. And Kristaps Scrastins committed to UNH. He becomes the first Wrangler in their franchise history to commit. But he has been dominant here already in his NAHL debut season. It's the first time he's playing in the States. But he has 11 goals, 10 assists. He's from Riga, Latvia. As is his other line partner, his centerman, Glebs Prohor and Kovs. I'm going to apologize if the pronunciations are a little tough with these Latvians and Russians. There's also a Russian on the third line, right wing, Yaroslav Shadov. As they appear to be fixing a pane of glass on Gucharzan that might have been dislodged from a hit. In the left corner of the Wranglers zone, behind the right side of Guchar, the glass didn't break, but it looks like it might have been just popped out of its positioning as the off-ice crew is quickly trying to pop it back in, or at least see what had happened to it, because from our angle it appears it's just one side, but we're not sure how long this delay will last. But again, thank you for tuning in on Hockey TV and also listening audio only on YouTube Live. And these videos should save on our YouTube channel as well, so you can always go back and watch it again. We're more than happy to do so. They're still adjusting that pane of glass in that left corner of the Wranglers zone. It looks like the stanchion might have been disconnected from the piece of glass, so again, they don't have to go grab a new one. Luckily, that resetting and cleaning up of broken glass definitely takes a lot longer, but it looks like that it might be fixed in the next minute or two. Again, Wranglers 11-4 here this season. And they have now over 25 years of consecutive hockey in Amarillo. The players are just standing around right now trying to stay loose during this lengthy break. But the Wranglers are 8-0 when scoring first. Not only are they second in the South Division, but they Also have one of the best records as well as when scoring first. So 8-0. The Jacks are 7-3 when scoring first. They've had some few hiccups after starting out really well in the beginning of the season after jumping out to the early 1-0 lead. And the entire team for Amarillo, minus the backup netminder and 4 skaters, are on the ice in the Wranglers zone. And it looks like mainly just the starting 5 or a little extra more than that for the Jack squad. Again, just kind of keeping the legs loose, doing a few laps in their zone, and again, the off-ice crew working relentlessly. They're trying to snap that piece of glass back in its frame so we can continue back on here with the first period from the Hector County Coliseum. It's a 1-0 Wranglers lead off the goal by Logan Cleary. It was a deflection that hit post and beat Proctor, and a shot initiated from the top of the left point. Cleary's goal was assisted by Michael Spinner and Jacob Peterson. Shots are 4 apiece, but Amarillo again leading where it matters. It's a 1-0 score after they capitalized on their first and only man advantage here in game number 1. The next time that these two teams will face off against one another, not just tomorrow, of course, but will be January 7th and the 8th in Amarillo. So it will be the first trip the Jacks make towards their closest rival here in the South Division. Proctor in between the pipes, again stretching, making sure he does not tighten up at all, again during this lengthy delay. Has everybody wondering when play will resume. There's one person on the ice fixing it from inside, and a few helpers on the outside as well. Right now, I think they also are dealing with the net issues, too. For the Odessa Jackalopes, next weekend is a bye weekend, but after that, they will be continuing play until, obviously, the holidays right around that Christmas break. The guys will get before coming back for a New Year's Eve home game. And then the only other weekend they have off will be the last weekend of February. And the Top Prospects Tournament was actually announced. That will now be held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, February 7th and the 8th. So not too long from now, some of these talented players from both squads will definitely be people of interest to watch at the Top Prospects Tournament, be held in the Keystone State. Now a few more skaters out on the ice for Odessa. They are still trying to fix the glass, and now both linesmen Hopkins and Tyler Willie over there are talking to head coach Scott Diller about the situation. I don't recall a heavy hit on that side in which maybe a player had fully popped it out, but all of a sudden play had stopped as they were trying to draw the attention of the officials and Guchar, who is on that side where the pane of glass is being worked on still. As I think now they're trying to reset the net. And again, an interesting and weird way to start Military Appreciation Weekend, as Wranglers had all this momentum, 1-0, it was building in their favor. There were a few spurts of scoring opportunities for the Jacks, especially coming off of Emerson Good's stick. Right in the slot, he was staring eye to eye with Max Guchar. Fortunately, Guchar got the better of him in that scoring opportunity. But now, you got to think, Amarillo could possibly be resuming this play without any momentum in their favor, which could bode well for the Jacks going forward as they kind of also get a fresh restart here in the first period. Again, it was an early goal by the Wranglers on the only power play opportunity here in game number 1. I've seen my fair share of lengthy delays in hockey arenas. I've seen some at the college level where some Zambonis have broken down on the ice, and actually one time back in college when I was calling D2 club hockey, the Zamboni broke down at the end of the first period. We were traveling to University of Pennsylvania at the class of 1923 arena. The Zamboni broke down. They eventually were able to get that one off. They had a spare one. That one comes out. That one not only breaks down, but started to leave deep rivets on the ice as it was making its way around trying to clean it. So a 20-minute intermission led on to be nearly 60 minutes of an intermission. They canceled that game, or postponed it, I should say, and the two teams met during their winter break. Obviously, college has a little bit longer of a winter break than what both of these teams here in the North American Hockey League will get, but they had to play second and third period only back at UPenn's Arena during one of the weekends of their holiday break. So I know that's been an option. I know some teams have, obviously, even at NHL level, some of the power's gone out in the middle of the game. There's that infamous fog game back in the NHL many decades ago. But I know this off-ice crew is doing everything they can and working relentlessly to try to make sure that this game continues on, as they are still working on that piece of glass directly behind the right side of Gouchard to our left. From a Hockey TV perspective, I'm not sure if, again, the camera is above us here on the broadcast booth, so not sure if you can see it or if it's pointed at center ice, but it is towards the left, basically where the Zamboni comes out of as well. So now the side of the stanchion is, I think they're trying to piece it back together as they're working around the safety netting that is connected between corner and corners of both ends of the ice. Again, a fantastic turnout here at the Ector County Coliseum. I can't say it enough because we had some very great turnouts for home opening weekend, 800 plus on the very first night on a Thursday game, and then we hit 13 or so hundred on Friday. Again, we were competing with high school football at the time, and then Saturday we eclipsed 1,400. And I'm not quite sure what the number is here this evening, but I do know that we were close to 1,000 pre-sale tickets before we even had people come in just for general admission, and on top of everybody that was welcomed with their military ID and their families as well, retired or active. So it's great to see this arena filled. It's great to see people coming back to sporting events, and we're hoping to see another large turnout tomorrow for game number 2. And again, at conclusion of tomorrow's game, there's going to be a jersey auction. You get a picture with the player that you won the jersey from after bidding on it. All jerseys will be starting at $350 and go up in increments of $50. And now, once again, all the players skating around as it appears the piece of glass is readjusted and fixed once again. And we are going right back to what appears to look like warm-ups. Both teams, I should say, having players sit for a lengthy duration here in game number 1. It's a Wranglers 1-0 lead, 11:24 remaining here in period number 1. A lead in shots 5-4. So, again, recently it kind of was favoring the Jacks up until that lengthy halt, as they're kind of still fixing it on the outside of the rink. And we'll just keep an eye on that piece of glass in that left side of Gouchard's zone. But play resumes And it's a quick whistle off a face-off infraction, and the linesman actually denotes it. That was Dane Hopkins. He said he apologizes for that mishap on the draw. Puck will be dropped to the right side, and we officially have restarted the period opener as a pass attempt goes awry from Amarillo. Duclair chasing after it far side. He's dumped to the ice. Offside go the Wranglers as stick handling with that at the blue line was Gleb's Prohornkovs. Again, not only is he from Riga, Latvia, but also is his right-wing partner, Kristaps Skrastins, the UNH commit. Picked up by Devorny and shoveled deep. As chasing after it is Kennelly. Pass it near side, right to the stick of Shimizi. Down the right wing wall, he'll lob it into the goal line. And it awkwardly caroms back out to Proctor, who had the hop on it for the whistle, and a little pushing and shoving afterwards. Nothing much will come of that. And hopefully everything's working well on YouTube Live. Again, it's our first time doing this here this season, and it's a great way for people to tune in that don't have a Hockey TV account. And again, it's just audio only if you are watching it on Hockey TV. That's the only way to get video as they sweep it across. It's picked off between the hash marks and then dumped off the boards and out to the neutral zone, where Aiden Carney will possess it, snap it near side. Getting his stick on it momentarily was Orr. Carney with it, fires into the leg of Kuwait, who's back after it, and plays it near side to Good. Really had the best scoring chance of the 4 shots the Jacks have had here this evening. Samshov with it. Played back up to Peterson. And a body in front, and is finally retrieved by Orr, who banks that one off the boards. Kept alive at the top of the point. And as they send it down low, eventually possessed by Odessa. As they fire it out to the neutral zone while waiting is Good. Quick changes on the fly coming for the Jacks and trying to hustle to grab a hold of it were the Wranglers. Luckily enough, Boak got back in time on that defensive line change. Boak chasing after it now, near side. He'll brush it forward to Good. He'll put some air under it as he lobs it behind the defense. And icing is called. Almost beating that icing out in time was Dane Hoyer. There was just, unfortunately, one rank. They were still slowly working on the outside of the rink on that piece of glass behind Guchar. Be interesting to see what exactly happened. And again, it didn't shatter or anything, and those take a lot longer to reset. Again, cleaning up all that broken glass, not just inside, but also outside the rink. Boak head fakes and then gets leveled near side by Battaglia. He picks it up. And his shot attempt is stick to side and then cleared back up top by Proctor. It's kept alive and dumped deep by DeMarco. As 5 new skaters in white, or just 3 right now and offensively, as the Wranglers look to make a defensive change. They got 1 instead of both. So 4 new legs in white jerseys with blue pants. Losing a handle on it was Prohinkovs. Far side with it are the Jacks as they play it out to center ice. Pressing is O'Hare. They sweep it over to Sofo as he sends up a near side lead pass for Prohornkovs. Stick handling with it is Skrastins, and he is denied by Perdian. Far left side. Chipped over to the right corner where O'Hare will get to it. Guarded by 2 Wranglers players, but he is able to successfully play it out to the red line. And it's airmail all the way up stays in play and is picked up in the right corner by Chonchenkov. Mansfield having trouble getting away with it. Cleary fires one right into the logo for Proctor, and he gets the whistle. Cleary looking for his second of the night and will put his team up 2-0 as we are just under 8 minutes to play here in period number 1. Wranglers lead the Jacks in shots 7-4. Offensive zone draw for Amarillo, near side circle. One by Odessa, played off their bench boards and possessed by Spinner. He'll spin it back to center ice, where it's retrieved by Duclair. He chips it off the end wall towards himself as he flips it forward for Mansfield. He's muscled off the puck. Bodies collide at the near side half wall. Duclair it after it, and he levels a man against the end wall. It's going to be a delay penalty against Duclair. But once the Jacks touch the puck, it will finally be blown. As Duclair hit number 22, Dominic Shemizzi in the back. And he also was saying that his stick was being held in the process as he was trying to touch it up to gain the halt to play. But it looks like he won't get it. It's another Amarillo man advantage. They're second this evening. They are 1-for-1. And cross-checking is called on Chris Duclair. And the number 1 power play unit in the NAHL is back on the ice. Puck is held in the right corner. Amarillo possesses it. And they turn it over to Kusler. He breaks out the left wing wall. Passes it over. They fire one and score! A shorthanded goal in the first of Military Appreciation Weekend. The Jacks have tied it up at 1 apiece. What a snapshot from Trevor Tallene. The defenseman a shorthanded tally. His 3rd goal of his NAHL career. It's also his 2nd shorthanded goal this season. Great vision by him and that turnover by Amarillo in the Jack zone. And Odessa capitalized on it to tie the game at 1 apiece.
Number 18, Ryan Kelly.
One is the score here from the Ector County Coliseum. Trevor Tallene, a shorthanded goal. Both goals so far here in game number 1 have been on special teams. Number 5, Logan Cleary, Trevor Tallene. That's his 2nd shorthanded goal of the season overall in his NAHL career. We drop the puck again from center ice after the Jacks tie things up with just about 7 minutes left here in the opening period. The puck will dribble into the left corner. Again, Chris Duclair in the box. 2-minute minor for cross-checking. Peterson with it. Walks from the blue line down to the right circle. And it will be lobbed into